Hi, how are you? This is PTR week 2. My name is Warren McCrae. I'm doing a keynote on QSR franchise analysis. Basically, I'm doing an analysis on 10 different companies, as you can see here. Um, you will see one of the requirements was to list top five and the bottom five companies that were, increasing in revenue or decreasing. After my analysis, I did find that after compiling the data, after 2017, 2016, 2015, that though they were decreasing in 2017, they had increased as a mean over the 3 or 4 years of data that I got. So that's why in the end, you will see that only there are two companies that are continually decreasing. So that is the explanation for that. So I have Noodles and Company. Noodles and Company, they decreased 6.4% in 2017. They increased by 7% in 2016, and then as you can see in 2015, they had another 12.8 increase. So over the 3 years, they've had 13.4% increase in sales, mainly because they closed a lot of stores. But they're still doing good, and they're still doing good on the chart. They haven't been in the top 50, less until this year. And as you can see in this slide, they did decrease by 6.4%, but are on the chart now. So um, they're focusing on healthy meals, and um, I can see this company continuing to grow with the demographic they try to get with. Next company was Moe's Southwest Grill. As you can see here, they did have a 1.43% decrease in 2017, though they made $688 million, which is a lot of money. They're doing great. 2016, they had an increase of 11.7, 21.9% increase in 2015. That's a total of 32.17% an increase. And so, though they went down in the rankings, you know they're doing great when it comes to sales and revenue. Um, Most Southwest Grill continues to rise. They went from 48 to 40 in only 4 years, and Chipotle is its main competitor. And you know, I see most Southwest Grill as a good investment as well. Then we have Wendy's. Wendy's Wendy's is the latter. As you can see, um, they're making billions and billions of dollars, which is the reason why that chart is kind of skewed. Because though you could have a decrease in revenue, you still can be high up on the chart based off of the money that you're making. So it doesn't really give a good idea of what a good company is and what a bad company looks like. So, but as you can see, they had a 15.27% decrease in 2017, 22 in 2016, and 6.5 decrease in 2015. And so, as you can see, you know, they've dropped, in sales by 44%, but still they managed to move up 2 spots on the GSR rankings, mainly because the money that they're making, even though they've lost, almost a whole $1 billion in sales. Not too good. I still like Wendy's, but if I was an investor, I wouldn't invest in Wendy's at the moment. Then you have Jersey Mike's. I just went there a few weeks ago, and it was really nice. It was clean, cleaner than how Subway looks. Everybody was professional, tasted good, and I can see why they're getting these numbers. They got a 30.07 increase in 2017, almost $1 billion. Okay, that's almost like Wendy's. 40% increase in 2016 and a 17.73 increase. So I mean, that's an 88% increase in revenue over the last 6 years, and they continue to grow. Um, they weren't on the list in previous years, and they're already at number 33 just in 2017. So you can see how fast this business is growing. And as you can see, my chart reflects that. The first 2 years, if you look at the x-axis, the first 2 years they weren't on the list, and now they're and then uh, 2016 they were ranked, I think it was 48, and then 2017 they're, like I said, at 33. So they're doing great. Good company. Then you have Wingstop. Wingstop's another great place to go. I've been there before. Wings are good. Um, they had a, in 2017, 3% increase, 2016, 10%, and in 2015, a 34% increase. That's a lot of money. They're doing great, but they've slowed down. They've slowed down in their sales, but they're still continuing to move up in the chart, which is crazy. That's what I was saying. You can be low on the chart, but you can be doing bad in your sales, or lowering, or kind of evening out, but still moving up on a chart. So it doesn't really give a good idea of what company, just by going off that QSR chart of what to invest in. Wingstop, 47% gain in revenue, and they went from ranked 49, which is the bottom of the list, to 30 in 2017. So another good company to take a look at. Then you have Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken, I've been there before. My mom used to love it. Love the jalapenos there. A 3.6% increase in 2017, but then they had a 3% decrease in 2016, and only a small, 0.5% increase in 2015. They've began to decline in revenue. I think there's just a lot of chicken places, and people are trying to be more healthy. They went from ranked 28 to 35th on the list, which is, not too good. And I did read that the decline is due to Popeyes reinventing themselves and overcoming the fried chicken industry. And, it's kind of hard to grow in the fried chicken industry when everybody's frying chicken. So, next slide I have here goes over Chipotle. Chipotle, as you can remember, had a scandal back in the day when they had that E. coli breakout. But they've kind of bounced back. In 2016 was when that happened, and you saw that they had a 12.4% decrease, and then next year they had 10.45. So I think they did a good job campaigning and letting their customers know that they've fixed up their deficiencies. And as you can see, they made 4.16 billion in revenue in 2017. So that's great. They continue to go up on the QSR rankings. They had a 12% decrease in 2016 because of that breakout, like I stated earlier. But they're doing good, as you can see on the chart. They're steady at 14, being ranked 14. So for the last 2 years, and basically off of their revenue that they bring in, which is in 400 billion kind of range. All right, and then 400 million range, and then you have Arby's. Arby's is doing all right. They had a 14% increase in 2015, and the last 2 years have been kind of slow, but they still make a lot of money, which is great for their company. $3 billion. After 2014, they had a 14% increase, and boosted their revenue. They have only seen little, marginal gains of 1.6%, but as you can look on the chart, they went down on the chart, but they're making more money. So that's another crazy thing that you can observe. We have Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's, another good sandwich place I've been to. In total, they have over 33% increase in revenue. Now they made $2 billion last year. That's great, and they continue to show favorable growth. They're ranked 24 on the list, and were 25 a few years back, but they've increased their revenue by 34%. So they continue to grow, and I think that's another good company to invest in. El Pollo Loco, they have those in California, where I'm from, and it's really good. As you can see here, $604 million in revenue, which is good for this company. They're still doing great. Good chicken. they fluctuated. They went from 41 to 36, and so, um, but they are on a decline right now financially because of a debt issue. I think they had to close a few stores, but they're still doing great. And as you can see, they're on a decline financially, but somehow they're low on the list. So, what's the odds that the companies will continue to grow? And so I used Bayes' theorem, and I used A as the probability that a business will continue to grow off the 2017 QSR list. 17 out of 50 businesses continue to grow in 2017, which is about 34% of businesses. And then I used my B as how many companies fail after 5 years. And that's 50% of companies fail after 5 years, and it's 70% after 10 years. But I wanted to go and stick with the 5 years because we have a lot of young companies. And so the top companies I was looking at were Jersey Mike's, which was 130% chance that they'll continue to grow. 69% chance they'll continue to grow for Wingstop. 65% chance that Moe's Grill will continue to grow. And then you got Noodles and Company with a 20% chance. Jimmy John's at 50%. And then the Pollo Loco at 86% chance that they'll continue to grow. So then I said, what's the odds that the ones that are declining will continue to decline? And the only ones that I can really see that are declining in revenue and sales, even though they're high on the chart, is Wendy's and Church's Chicken. Like I said, just because they're high on the list doesn't mean they're doing great. And just because they're moving up on the chart doesn't mean that they're doing great as well. So as you can see here, I use my A as the probability that a business will continue to decline, which was 12 out of the 50 businesses on that list, which is about 0.24 or 24%. And then the companies that will fail after 5 years is again 50%. So I use that as my Bravo. And as you can see, I use Bayes' theorem, and the probability was 48% based off of B. So, so what's the probability that Wendy's will continue to decline? If you look at after doing the math, it's a 93% chance that they will continue to fail, and that makes sense. I mean, they've lost $1 billion. They used to make $2 billion. Now they make $1 billion. So. And they've been on a steady decline. I mean, they've dropped in revenue by 50%. So that's like a good probability. And then Church's Chicken, though they're not in such turmoil as Wendy's, they also have they have a 14.25% chance of continuing to drop, which isn't that bad. I think Church's Chicken can bounce back. They might have to do some promotions and more campaigning, but not as bad as Wendy's. So the $1 million question for my investors, my stakeholders, my shareholders, all that jazz would be: what company should you invest in? I think Jersey Mike's is by far the best one to invest in. 130% chance to increase in revenue. They're making serious gains in the market. Actually, Jersey Mike's being in the top 10 probably in 2 to 3 years. So if you wanted to invest in any kind of a franchise, the best probability would be Jersey Mike's. Again, my name is Warren McCray. I hope you enjoyed my slideshow. I hope it was informative, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.